I love Final Destination. I don't know what it is about the series, whether it's the cool setup or the creative kills. I just love the Final Destination series. However, I'm not here to praise the series. I am here to basically rank all 5 movies. Wait, I'm getting ahead of myself. Final Destination is about a group of people each movie who escape a disaster thanks to one of the characters having a premonition of said event where each character dies. However, they weren't supposed to do that, and now they're on Death's list. Death tries to kill everyone who escaped the event by killing them in each in realistic ways. Which movie handles the premise the best? Let's find out. Coming in at number 5 is Final Destination 4, Final Destination 3D, or The Final Destination, whichever one you're comfortable choosing from. I am reviewing this movie later this month, so this will kind of spoil my thoughts on it, but this monstrosity of a sequel needs to be addressed. Final Destination 4, no lie, might possibly be the worst horror movie I've ever watched. And that's insulting to me, not because I'm a huge Final Destination fan, though that does feed into my anger for it, but this movie was meant to cap off the series. Basically, Mr. Bland, Mrs. Forgettable and Forgettable, and Mr. Stereotypical Douchebag goes to see a NASCAR race, but in Final Destination Spirit, the cars crash and it causes the weak stadium in the railroad to start collapsing and a bunch of people die. So Mr. Bland gets his friends out and the commotion causes other victims of the destined disaster to exit too. And the movie turns into a Final Destination movie. A bad one. You might already know how I feel about these characters judging from the nicknames I gave them, but it's true. All these guys are some of the most boring, stereotypical characters I've seen in any movie. The effects for the kills are atrocious. The Final Destination series uses, for the most part, practical effects to achieve the most realistic kills they can get. So I have no clue what happened here, but these effects looks like a straight-to-TV movie for the Sci-Fi Channel. They just don't look convincing in the slightest. The kills are the most unrealistic and downright goofiest kills in the series, and the previously mentioned terrible effects don't help. Overall, this movie was a disaster, and I thank God it wasn't the conclusion to the series. Coming in at number 4 is Final Destination 3. Even though I despise the crap out of Final Destination 4, I think 3 is okay. Final Destination 3 focuses on a group of high schoolers who go on a roller coaster, but since this is the Final Destination movie, things don't go well. However, it's just a premonition, and our main character, Wendy, wants off, and a commotion happens that gets other victims of said disaster off the coaster before it crashes. So now all these people are on Death's chopping block. Now, despite this movie being lower on the list, there are many good qualities about it. The kills are awesome, the effects are great, and the acting is decent for the most part. So, what's the problem? You guessed it, the characters. Now, don't get me wrong. Compared to the characters of Final Destination 4, these guys are an example of the greatest piece of character creation in the history of art's existence. But we're not comparing the two, and these characters aren't unlikable, nor are they likable. They are just so forgettable and barely get any screen time with the exception of Wendy, Kevin, and maybe Ian. I have more emotional attachment to Lewis than 5 other characters on Death's list, and he's supposed to be the jerk of the movie. Final Destination 3 is fine, and it's fun to watch on the first viewing. However, there's nothing really special about it, and compared to its siblings with the exception of 4, it's sort of forgettable. Coming in at number 3 is Final Destination 2. I've always felt weird about Final Destination 2. It's a good movie, but I don't pay a lot of mind when thinking about the series. Final Destination 2 is about a group of friends who are on a road trip, but when things go bump in the road, everyone forgets how to use brakes, giving us one of, if not, the best car crash sequence in any movie ever. But you know how this works, it's just a premonition. Claire, our main protagonist, stops her car, saving other people who would have been victims of the crash. Final Destination 2, just like 3, has cool kills, great effects, especially for 2004, and a decent story. And the characters, they're alright. Unlike its successor, Final Destination 2 has decent characters that I personally liked. Don't get me wrong, they're not amazing nor that memorable, but I liked them enough. Final Destination 2 was a worthy sequel and it's worth the watch. Coming in at number 2 is Final Destination, the movie that started it all. Final Destination deserves a lot of credit. Not only was it the movie that came up with the cool premise, but it was executed really well. Alex and a few of his fellow classmates are taking a trip to Paris. However, the plane malfunctions and everyone dies. But they don't. So Alex freaks out and others get off the plane in the ensuing commotion and voila, it explodes. Now all these people are going to die unless they escape Death's grasp. The kills are cool, the effects are great, especially for 2000 standards, and the characters are actually pretty fun and work well off each other. Despite this movie technically counting as a 2000s movie, there is a lot of 90s cheese sprinkled in here. But that adds to the movie's charm in my opinion. There's not much to say about Final Destination except it pulls off many things well and has become a personal classic of mine. Coming in at number 1 is Final Destination 5. The one that ends the series is the one that ends this list. Final Destination 5 takes everything I like about the Final Destination series and puts it all into this movie. It also takes everything I disliked about 4 and chucks it out the window. Final Destination 5 is a solid movie. It centers around 8 employees who are basically going on vacation when the bridge their bus is on starts collapsing and it kills them all, only for it to be a premonition, obviously. Imagine a Final Destination movie where the disaster happens and it fakes you out by not having it be a premonition. Anyways, our main lead, Sam, freaks out and causes a commotion that gets other people off the bus as well before the bridge collapses. So now these characters are on Death's list. These characters are easily the best out of the series. They're not great, but they all service the plot in an interesting way, and all of them have something to do instead of just serving as kills. Speaking of kills, the kills in this movie are pretty freaking awesome. The effects in this movie are not only the best in the series, but are great for 2011. Just look at this cool long shot of the bridge collapsing. Also, without spoiling anything, the movie introduces a new twist to the logic of the series, which adds a whole nother layer of depth and possibility to the series. All of those reasons are why I think Final Destination 5 is the best out of the series. And those are my personal picks for my top 5 Final Destination movies. Have you guys ever watched Final Destination? If so, let me know in the comments which one is your favorite. If not, then make sure to consider checking out the series. I was careful not to spoil anything so I won't ruin any of the movies for anyone who's interested in checking them out. Anyways, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you haven't, please like and subscribe, and as always, I will see you guys next time. Peace, everyone.